Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to our honorable adjudicators and viewers. My name is Vincent and I am from SMA Negeri 1 Pangkalan. Now I am stand here as the first speaker of the opposition team. So, the first thing that I will talk is we are going to see and summarize the definition of our opposition. So we disagree as what they say that defunding of the police could make police not handling domestic and minor offenses. That is out of the logic. And our first rebuttal is about the initiation of body camera and independent counsel as they oppose. As they say, United States was in an election year and that is very risky for them to make a budget to make such kind of body camera and independent counsel. And the second rebuttal is in their first argument say it is morally justified. They say that people have right to feel safe by have more police. But if we can see in the reality, a lot of people has already made a negative stigma to the police and afraid of the police itself without any such clear reason. And they say the vigilantism if because there is no police. But as we can see, vigilantism is caused because the attitude of the people themselves. So there are nothing to blame to the police. And our last rebuttal is to their second argument. They stated that racists come from the environment and it doesn't make a sense or doesn't make link to our motion today. So we oppose. So in this occasion, we are disagree with the institutional reform because it is, in our opinion, it is such an impossible dream. Why? Because if the police was not defunded, they will still have power, and in the worst case, they could make an institutional reform, as they say, as a mask to do a lot of their other dirty jobs. So we are heading to our team split. The team split is me, as the first speaker will tell about the advantage of police defunding and how institutional reform is actually ineffective. And my second speaker will talk about how police defunding is seen in the social common society. So we are heading to my first argument. My first argument is police defunding could make other field of things grow, such as like education or health and etc. And in our opinion, that is much important for this time. As we can see, the coronavirus case spread and US is the one of the most, even number one highest coronavirus case in the world. If we could see, if the government don't spare more of funds to the health and just take care of this institutional police thing, it could make the condition in the country become worse because not because of the police and the racial issues, but it's because the health, it's because the people that are suffering and dead because of coronavirus cases. And if we could see the racism and that such kind of thing is come from ideology. So if we fund up and rise up the fund of the education and reform our education curriculum, and we gain the money by defunding the police, we could make education system that are better and teaching us how to not to be racist, etc. So it is better to prevent rather than to handle, just like the crime and racial issues, especially in the US. That is why we are 100% disagree with the motion and our opposition. So, our second argument is how institutional reform is actually ineffective, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you could think that the government team proposed before they are going to make body camera and independent counsel, etc. We could not really prove that there is no under the table agreement between the police and the independent counsel. And also we could see making body camera and independent counsel also make a new space of corruption, ladies and gentlemen. So if there is new project of the government, that is a new space of people that want to corrupt to make them much more rich, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do care about the country, if you do care about how we stop the corruption, so you are in our side. And the last thing we could see, there is a case 6 years before the George Floyd, that there is NYPD police murder Eric Garner. And then, as we can see, there is still racial issues in the US, even though after that issues of the NYPD, police institution have reformed themselves for few and much more time. So ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are in the opposition team is 100% disagree with the motion, and that is why, because we have the better solution rather than from the government team. So that is all from me. Thank you very much.